Nathan Reed forgot his password. Again, which at this point was basically his cardio. So he clicked forgot password, completely unaware that this tiny harmless click was about to declare full-scale war on the fabric of reality. It's just one password reset, he said. And reader, it is never ever just one password reset. The first security question popped up asking for his first pet's name, and Nathan, feeling confident for possibly the last time in his life, typed Mr. Heekler, whiskers like a man who had this handled. Incorrect, because apparently the system wanted to know his pet's name in this reality specifically, which was a phrase that should never appear on a login screen. Nathan just stared at it, asking the very reasonable question of what exactly in this reality was supposed to mean, right as the room got noticeably colder. And that's when his laptop screen cracked open like a literal doorway, spitting out a spinning vortex of glowing login boxes into his tiny apartment. The next question demanded to know what street he grew up on before the timeline split, and Nathan, fully panicking now, insisted there was no timeline split. He grew up on Maple Street. Thank you very much. Except the system detected 3 different Maple Streets across 3 different timelines and asked him to please select the correct one, as if this were a normal Tuesday. He picked one at random. Wrong answer. The portal exploded into a shower of expired gift cards, which felt oddly personal. By now, the vortex had grown so large that floating laptops were multiplying above the entire city skyline, and his neighbor leaned out the window just to ask if their Wi Fi was doing this too. The third question asked him to describe in exactly 12 characters, using one number and one symbol, the true meaning of his existence. And Nathan finally snapped, screaming that this was a password reset, not a therapy session. He typed something. Anything. It genuinely didn't matter anymore, especially once the system rejected it for being too weak and suggested he add a capital letter, a number, and his will to live. Outside, the sky itself started cracking, and the streets began looping. The exact same red car driving past 4 times in a row while confused pedestrians just stood there frozen. That's when the golden door showed up again. And honestly, Nathan didn't even react anymore. He just sighed, because at this point, the golden door was basically a recurring coworker. Turns out there's an entire department of forgotten credentials, small but deeply passionate about exactly this kind of disaster. The suit man handed him a glowing keyboard and explained there was only one way to close the loop. Nathan had to answer the final question, and he had to answer it honestly. The final question simply asked why he never just wrote his password down somewhere safe like a normal person, and Nathan, staring into the swirling void, quietly admitted he thought he'd just remember it. And at that exact moment, the entire vortex froze mid-spin, every glowing portal across the whole city stopping at once, like the universe had finally heard something it understood. Answer accepted. Relatability level, maximum. The system said, while somewhere, a support technician nodded solemnly, having heard this exact confession roughly 1 billion times before. One by one, the portals started collapsing shut like popped bubbles, and his neighbor practically screamed with joy that it was actually closing. The looping red car finally drove past just once. Traffic returned to normal. Somewhere, a bird chirped, completely unbothered, as if none of this had happened. The suit man closed his briefcase and confirmed the password reset was complete, and when Nathan asked what his new password even was, the suit man simply said he'd forget it by Tuesday. The golden door vanished, the vortex disappeared, and the apartment went completely quiet, with nothing left but a soft green check mark glowing on the screen. Nathan stared at it for a long moment, then grabbed a sticky note, wrote his password down, and slapped it directly onto the monitor, muttering to himself that this was never, ever happening again.